I wanted to make some air-wound coils similar to the old Barker & Williamson or Air Ducts coils. They've gotten to be kind of expensive lately. So I modeled it up and 3D printed this form. The form has slots in it, and the form has a taper to it. The model is parametric, so it can be scaled to any size. I picked something that was roughly 1.5 inches in diameter and roughly 2 inches long. And these strips slide in the slots, and they have grooves in them for the turns of wire. The grooves are also parametric, meaning that you can pick any turns per inch you want, any size wire. I've picked 14 gauge wire for this, and depending upon the turns per inch, the slots will change in angle as may be needed to dress up nice on the coil. So then these fit in here and they slide back and forth. I chose PETG for the material because, I don't know, it just seems to me to be slipperier. I'm sure it could be done with PLA or something else. And then take the 4 strips, slide them in the form, and temporarily hold them in place with a rubber band. Like so. And these grooves in the strips have a circular cross section at the bottom with a little bit of a detent, so that the wire, here's an example of a little piece of wire, the wire, when it slides in here, will actually clip into place enough to hold it in position. Makes it easier to wind the coil. So we just start by leaving a little bit of wire at the end, and I'm going to start at the big end. Find one of these grooves that clips nicer. This one seems tighter. And then we just start moving around, and the strips will slide to accommodate the pitch, so that by the time you get around to the next turn, you're in line with the next groove in the first strip. And then we just wrap around, keeping it nice and snug. This is just 14 gauge house wire. I stripped it. And now that we're down to this point, we should be able to take the rubber band off. If I can do that without messing everything up. The strips can be made any length, the coil form can be made any length, any diameter. You just dial in the number of turns you want. I will make that 3D model. By the way, I did the model in a program called open SCAD. Very nice parametric type software. I think we'll flip over here. And I will make that file available for anybody that wants it. Didn't get that in the groove. By the way, this was done with an FDM 3D printer. It's not particularly choosy. So this was set up, this particular coil was set up for 12 turns, 6 turns per inch. And now that I'm down at the bottom, clip that in and put a turn in it. We'll put a turn in at this one up on top. And we can go around and adjust the turns a little bit if we need to. I'm going to cut off the excess here. Now I have some super glue. See if I can keep from getting it all over the place. And I'll just run a bead of super glue down the top. Let it get into the coils or into the grooves. Super glue is one of these materials that uses moisture to cure. So when I'm done here, I'll just spray a little water on it, come back. By the way, another possibility, maybe even cleaner, is I made the strips have deep enough slots that instead of using super glue like this, you could just take a like a soldering iron or something hot and just melt all those crests down across into the grooves. And I've done that as well. It holds in place. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, here we're back again, and I just ran some water over it. Super glue cures pretty fast if you get enough moisture on it. We'll just pop this out of here, and that's our coil.